Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, here we are once more in Ul'dah, but still in Ul'dah. Well, Desiree, you might as well go after him. He'll be disappointed if you don't. The lady in question is named Yellow Moon. She's a woman with a taste for finer things in life. It's safe to say you find her getting fitted for something in the Weaver's Guild most every day. Good luck with the Inspector. Indeed, Yellow Moon is always standing here, and there are some boxes. My beloved Purple Heart was unlike anyone you've ever seen. Elegant, refined, the perfect accessory for any cultured woman. You'll bring it back to me, won't you? A priceless possession callously ripped from the hands of its owner. The lady weeps and the wind bears her sorrow to his ears. What gentleman could hear this clarion call and not beg the honor of championing her cause? What in the world? I swear to you here now, I, Hildibrandt, Agent of Enquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, shall scour all creation, from the deepest pits of the seventh hells to the very pinnacle of the heavens, for your Purple Heart. What he said. And you, my fellow servant of justice, I see your instincts are not to be underestimated, having guided you to this fair maiden's side. Now then, Miss Moon, what can you tell us of a theft? Theft, sir, to be precise. My Purple Heart was only the most recent item to be taken from me. I'm certain I had it when I left home the other day, after I browsed the latest fashions at Sunsilk and took in a match at the Colosseum. I realized it was gone. So the time and location of the thefts are unknown, essential details of which we cannot solve the case. There's but one logical course of action, Miss Moon, to coax the hidden clues from your memories. We must reenact that fateful day's excursion to Sunsilk's tapestries. What monster would steal my Purple Heart? And the boxes again. Oh, I don't know. Are you sure it's going to help? Miss Moon, would you be so kind as to describe your visit in detail on the day in question? Nothing unusual happened, but if you insist, I was pondering whether not to purchase a new dress when a man approached me and confessed his undying love. What sort of man says that to a complete stranger, I ask you? Naturally, I was taken aback. I dropped my purse in shock, not intentionally, on his foot, and he cried out in pain and fled. If I may be so bold, Miss Moon, that strikes me as a most unusual happening. In any case, it appears to be completely unrelated to the theft. Let us next proceed to the Colosseum and see what you remember. In front of the Colosseum, okay. Conspicuous crates say nothing. That crate looks at me funny. Where could my Purple Heart be? Once again, Miss Moon, if you would be so kind as to tell us what you remember. Well, like before, nothing unusual happened. I felt like gambling that day, was debating which match to observe, when a gladiator approached me from behind and confessed his undying love. Naturally, I was taken aback. I whirled about and struck the man in the face with my purse. In shock, not intentionally. Unfortunately, since I was carrying a tremendous sum of money, my purse weighed about 6 score pounces and... 6 score panzers. 120 pounds. 60 kilos of money. And the blow was enough to render them unconscious. 120 panzers. Miss Moon, you are a remarkably strong woman. Which is precisely where you were targeted. Oh, it's so obvious in hindsight the thief bore you a grudge. No, it's more than that. He hated you with a passion. There sure are a lot of giant crates in Ulda. The Weaver's Guild, Sunset Tapestries, and here too. Stand back, I'm on the verge of unraveling this mystery. I must be allowed to focus. These crates are everywhere, Desiree. I wonder what's inside. But I don't see how we can open... Of course, I still have plenty of explosives. Here, why don't you try? It'll be fun. Say something, crate, or I blow you up. With Nashu's delight. At the heart of every crime rests a single unassailable truth, reached only by navigating a web of falsehoods and contradictions. Hearken to me now, for as a shepherd leads his flock, I shall guide you to my irrefutable conclusion. A gladiator professes his feelings only to be rejected and physically assaulted in response, wounding his pride as a warrior and man. Resenting her prowess whilst recognizing his weakness, he carries out a more feasible vengeance. He robs Yellow Moon of a weapon, the Purple Heart. Inspector, I found the Purple Heart. These strange men sneaking around town in wooden crates at it. It's not what you think. We are not thieves, we are devotees. Yellow Moon is our sun and stars. We only wish to keep her safe from harm, and should she misplace an item from time to time, we collect it for safekeeping, nothing untoward. You deviants were behind all the thefts. All this time you've been stalking me? What nerve? Ah, such unbridled fury, such righteous indignation. We should be glad to accept the goddess's punishment. Goddess? Devotees? But of course, that I had you inspect those crates was a stroke of genius indeed. As I was elucidating, but a moment ago, those fiends are obviously the ones responsible for the recent rush of weapon thefts, as those thefts were carried out by a single individual, you imbecile. Lest you've forgotten, the culprit is a duelist. He only claims his victims' weapons after defeating them in single combat. If your powers of observation are as great as you claim, you should have deduced that those buffoons in boxes were incapable of such. I should know. I'm a reporter for the Mythical Eye. My name's Ellie, and I've been investigating these incidents for weeks. Inspector Hildibrandt, gentleman investigator and agent of inquiry, I presume? You're looking well for a dead man. Would you like to meet one of a duelist's victims? I introduce you with pleasure. You would be willing to share such precious information with me? Your generosity is commendable, Miss Ellie. May this mark the beginning of a long and beautiful friendship. Yes, very good. The name of a man is... Where the bloody hells do you think you're going? I haven't told you anything yet. I suppose since you're the imbecile's friend, you intend to help him? The man you want to find is an adventurer named Humphrey. At present he can be found at the Golden Bazaar. With luck the good inspector may find his way there by the time you arrive. If not, then so be it. I wonder what will happen when he discovers his victim is a perpetrator as well. Now, little Humphrey, what did the nice lady mean with your perpetrator? I am Humphrey, and you? At last, I've caught up with you. You there, youngster. I'm told you are a victim of a marauding duelist. Me, a victim? How amusing. You amuse me, too. I was challenged by the duelist not long ago, but he fought to find a whelp. He found a warrior of light instead. I defended my honor and my blades. See for yourself. You mean you won? That's amazing. Well, it was nothing compared to what I faced at Cartano. Magitech to the right of us, Magitech to the left of us. Stuck in the middle with Master Lou, we were. He was a dab hand with that old magic. He was. Tried to save him, of course, but there's a limit to how many giant beasties a man can. That man is no warrior of light. Tell them, Eliza. Tell them how he lost and surrendered a sword that was not his own. Liar, scoundrel. I trusted that bastard with me father's blade. Bid him take it to a smithy for restoration. Even gave him gil to pay for it. When he comes crawling back, sniveling and begging forgiveness for losing it in a duel. As if it's enough to set things right. Look at me, you bleeding son. Look at me flowing golden locks are no more. I've gone bald from the stress and heartbreak. I swear to everything holy that you'll face a reckoning if you don't bring her back to me. Alright, he beat the shite out of me and took the old man's sword. I used the gil to pay the chirurgeon. I have no idea where he or the sword is. What I'm supposed to do, huh? I can't give him what I don't have unless you help me find the sword? That's what you do, right? Help people? Have you no shame? First you claim a legacy not your own, when you beg others to help you with problems of your own making. You will refuse the man, won't you, Inspector? And what of Eleazar's glowing golden locks? What will forsaking young Humphrey help the man he has wronged? We shall begin our search for the sword by questioning the people of the Golden Bazaar. Do all inspectors dress like that? Never met one before, so I don't know what to expect. That blade was a rare and ancient relic. He can't possibly think he will recover it so easily. Antique swords. Oh, I haven't the foggiest about that. The traveling merchant Jerome Parr is the one you ought to speak with, assuming he hasn't left. Eleazar's sword was much to look at, but at least it was authentic. More than a few collectors have been tricked into purchasing counterfeit relics. That boy should be ashamed of himself, robbing poor Eleazar of a priceless family heirloom. And just goes to show you should never trust an adventurer who claims to be a warrior of light. Thieves and tricksters, a lot of them. It may not be the most honorable solution, but mayhap you should consider giving Eleazar a counterfeit blade. If the deception brings him peace in his final days, would it be so wrong? I'm afraid I have no knowledge of an ancient sword, at least none of one I can guarantee to be authentic. You see, any wares are determined to be of dubious origin I immediately discard in the spring east of Camp Drybone. Although I have no swords for sale at present, I may have disposed of a facsimile similar in design to the one you describe. This presents a quandary. Though I'm loath to deceive an honorable man like Eleazar, A well-intentioned ruse may put his heart at ease by spurring the rejuvenation of his flowing golden locks, whilst we continue to search for a genuine article. Well, if there's a sword in that spring, it won't remain there for long. It's one of the more convenient sources of fresh water for the common folk in Tribone. You should endeavor to be more optimistic, Miss Ellie. Like me, I say we search the spring first before declaring all to be lost. Okay, let's look for a sword. For the golden locks of the bald man. It occurs to me that I'm not fully recovered from my accumulated injuries. It would not be prudent to immerse my body in water. Not without first coating it with a liberal application of salamander oil, that is. Indeed, on many an occasion my dearest mother tended my childhood scraps just so. You understand the importance of physical rehabilitation, yes? And you can assist me by pouring the oil all over my body. This comforting sense is worse than a child in her arms. Quickly now before it dries, knead the oil into my aching flesh. Pain multiplies manifold. Gently now, gently. Oh gods, yes, at last my muscles slacken and soften. The warmth spreads and the pain becomes pleasure. Once more, while he moves. Right there, yes, keep doing that, just like that, just like... Oh, yes, now once more with feeling. Never before have I received such splendid ministrations. Now then, into the spring, you as well, my good woman. Nashu's sleeping already? I spy with my inspector's eye. You've been productive. Excellent. May I see what you found? Junk, more junk, and completely junk. This is not the sword you're looking for. A completely useless and unremarkable rock. Come now, what were you expecting? A rock that keeps curls away? Well, at least you didn't pick up a rock at random like some people. Like this one. No sign of a sword, John Jumper mentioned. See. Ah! Now I'm all wet. What was that, anyway? Did something cause you to... Once again, my instincts have guided us to our quarry. That I had searched you, that section of a spring was a stroke of... Inspector, it's bad for your health to conduct investigations in those clothes. I go to Ulta and fetch some new ones. How thoughtful of you, Nachu. While you're there, purchase a few bottles of hair tonic for layers as well. The newest, most potent blend you can find. Is it not wonderful, my friend? Soon all of Eleazar's woes will be no more. Of course, he had told her to search where, right? What else? As promised, I return to you your father's ancient blade. Aye, it is her. Every chip and scratch just as I remember. God bless you, sir. I never expected you'd go to such lengths for two strangers without thought of reward. Altruism is a rare trait these days. 'Tis common enough if we know where to look. A gentleman recognizes the good in every soul, and understands that none deserve to be forsaken. Spoken like a true gentleman, though your garments beg to differ. Inspector, I bought you a change of clothing. I also bought a supply of tonic from this peddler I met in Pearl Lane. Excellent work, Nashu. If you'd bring me that case... Where's... Whoop. Ow. Inspector Hildibrandt? There appears to be something lodged in my forehead. Could it be a missive from an adoring admirer? The author neglected to pen her name. I shall come to claim the collector's blade. Is that supposed to be flattering? No, you... It's supposed to be intimidating. The duelist wanted. He's daring you to stop him. A challenge? For me? At last the curtain rises. Very well, if I'm to duel the duelist, I must dress for the occasion. I, Hildibrandt, Agent of Enquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, accept your challenge. He's incredible. So bold, so majestic, like a warrior of light. No, a gentleman of light. He is exceptionally, something. God, Inspector Hildibrandt, you look amazing! And he has indeed hair again. Hildibrandt. This is far from the strongest of swords. Blue skies and the rolling desert. How much longer must I seek the blade of legend? Looked a bit scrappy then, for good Gilgamesh. Challenge accepted, my worthy opponent. You shall not claim the blade. With my, let us call it what it is, genius, I shall bring justice. Wait, you wish to duel with weapons, not wits? The bridge hardly seems appropriate for such an epic battle. Inspector Hildibrandt will return in 3 collectors. Hey, I know that spear. That's one I found buried with the pumpkins. The pumpkins sort of remind me of, no, it's gone. Never mind. Yeah, I end this episode here because, as you could see, there was an episode of Hildibrandt. Until next time then, when we play more Final Fantasy XIV, I'm Mace and don't get lost.